Did you get a chance to talk to Austin Voth and discuss roles with him?
Yeah. Well, we just kind of discussed where he's at physically right now. He's going to throw a little bit. I think he just threw a touch and feel type of bullpen, just kind of get back on the mound. Hasn't thrown in a handful of days, and he's going to slide right into our bullpen. When he's ready, in the next day or two, then he'll be able to come in the game. But right now, we're going to give him a day or two to kind of get acclimated.
Letting Chris Owens go, was that a difficult conversation for you?
Yeah.
And how do you see his, obviously he wasn't getting a ton of playing time, but how do you see his kind of role being divided from here?
Yeah, that was a tough night in the morning this morning, because Chris, there was a lot of value for what he was doing here, even though he wasn't hitting much and had some offensive struggles early. What he brought to our, because he's one of our only veteran guys, what he brought to our young players in meetings, in the clubhouse, in the dugout, for me is invaluable. He's a really good leader and a great guy, and was open to share, and so tough to see him go. He also adds versatility, and he added a guy that could run with off the bench, but a guy that could shore up some spots defensively. So it is tough to see him go. These are tough decisions to make when, hopefully, fortunately we're starting to get more talented and starting to get some younger players here, and that's kind of what happens sometimes.
You've been asked a lot about Adley, but does, at a time like this, when he's going through some ups and downs, the character and the makeup that the organization loved about this kid since day one, is that something that you like now and helps him now? What
I love right now is that you walk through that clubhouse and you can't tell that he's not hitting the way he wants to, and we just did a little PFP drill, and he's right next to me, and he's loose and not feeling frustrated at all, or so he's not portraying that things are bothering him. That's really a mature way to handle it. So he's just a really impressive kid, and I think he's handling this kind of early go as well as he possibly can. I know he wants to get more hits. He's had some bad luck, but also the way he's handling this tough situation of just kind of entering the big leagues with a lot of fanfare and hype, and facing the teams we face, it's never easy. So he'll be fine.
When you watch him, I mean, I watch most of the games from the center field camera, and he seems to have really good pitch recognition for a young player, and yet he hasn't gotten the results. Are you surprised at all that hasn't translated yet, or is it just about?
It's going to translate because what you said, because his pitch recognition is so good. His strike zone discipline is excellent, and so as he starts getting more comfortable in the big leagues, you're going to start seeing him be able to really get in hitters' counts, and be able to do damage in hitters' counts because of that. And so that's a skill that's really hard to teach and really hard to especially teach up here, and he already has that. So he's he's in a really good place in that way, and now he just needs to get, the results will happen when they do, but the process right now is really good.
From a team standpoint, how do you feel like that pitch recognition, play discipline aspect has developed this season? How does it compare to what you've seen in prior years?
Well, we've never been a team that walks much since I've been here, just from a personnel standpoint, just guys that haven't walked much in the minor leagues. So I think we're starting to add players that understand the strike zone. I think you see Santander this year he has really shrunk in the strike zone quite a bit. The average isn't there, but the on base is. The on base is much higher. You'll see the power go up because of that as well. So we're getting there. But the elite offensive clubs, they have, they're stacked with guys with great pitch recognition and discipline, and I think we've made good strides, but still a ways to go.
You saw Santander go from being the guy that didn't recognize pitches well to being a guy who was in his organization. So was that something that you all emphasized, or that's something he took upon himself?
It's something we've talked about with him for the last few years, and something that we saw in spring training this year, where he talked about it, how he wanted to really increase his walks, and he wanted to lay off certain pitches that were giving him problems in the past, and took it very seriously, and he's taken it in the game, which is so hard to do. So I give him credit. I give him a lot of credit for that. Our hitting guy, Borgs and Ryan do a great job of post-game reviews, of talking about narrowing the strike zone a ton in the batting cage. That's something that they're preaching on a daily basis. So the information is definitely there. I think that it's slowly starting to work into a lot of guys that bat.